This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
Remember Becky Hill? She was a Colleton County clerk, the clerk of court, who read out the guilty verdict in the trial of Alex Murdaugh. The guy convicted of murdering his wife and son in one of South Carolina's most jaw-dropping cases ever. Well, now she's the one in trouble. And we've talked about her before, but now she's been arrested. Early last Wednesday morning, Becky Hill got herself actually arrested. Not just a slap on the wrist kind of thing either. We're talking about multiple felony charges, obstruction of justice, 2 counts of misconduct, and a perjury charge. The last one came out of Richland County. And just to keep it spicy, 2 of those charges are linked to the very same Murdaugh trial that she presided over. So this is getting a little bit interesting. What's going to happen? Are we going to see Alex Murdaugh trial number 2, considering she's been brought up on felony charges? And by the way, here's Becky's mugshot, in case you were curious.
Oh, what I was saying to you before we started recording. Mm-hmm. And I only say this because my brother had a morning raid by the DEA once.
Whose brother doesn't?
Right? Because that's the kind of family I've come from. True crime was always going to be my destiny. I'm not guilty of anything, but I've been around some people who have been. Mm-hmm. But they did a 5 a.m. raid. Like, nobody was dressed, hair not done, makeup not done, that kind of thing. That's what Becky looks like. They rolled her ass out of bed at like 5:15 a.m. and said, "You're coming with us." That's what it looks like.
This is previous Becky.
Oh, Becky.
Which is the better Becky? I would honestly argue.
Are you sure that's her?
Yes, that's Becky. This is the Becky we knew and loved. This is the Becky. This is original Becky.
That's Miss Becky. Second Becky, that ain't Miss Becky. That's,
I would say,
Becky bitch.
That's Becky bitch. This is that's Becky.
Southern Belle Becky.
This is Becky. I watch too much Banfield Becky, and I'm trying to look like her, but I'm not good at it.
That's Becky that just got home from the bar and laid down on the couch. Different
hair. She's trying to look a lot younger. I think there might be a little Botox or something going on there too. I gotta say, even the rough this Becky looks better than the older Becky. She looks younger now.
The other Becky looks very matronly.
Yeah.
Very like she's wearing orthotics in her Skechers slip-ons.
This one seems more like she's like doing shots at the bar with Karen.
Yes.
And like pour an extra shot in here because it just was a weak pour.
Yeah, and she just took up smoking because all the hot girls are doing it.
Yeah. So
yeah, she looks something's different. She's riding on the edge, man.
I think she's badass now. She's trying to live this up, I think, and that's kind of what I'm guessing. So there's that. So what did she allegedly do? Well, according to court documents, she made several, made sealed evidence. Yeah, the kind of stuff that's supposed to be kept under legal lock and key, available for photographs. It's a serious no-no in court, like sneaking spoilers out of a movie that hasn't even premiered yet. That's your obstruction of justice charge right there. But it gets more theatrical. Becky apparently used her role in the courtroom drama to push her own behind-the-scenes tell-all book, Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders, which was written pretty much at a 4th grade level and then eventually pulled off of Amazon because she plagiarized it.
There's that.
And there's that. It's like if the usher at the Broadway play started selling their own bootleg DVD of at the lobby.
And their own unauthorized T-shirts that have spelling errors in them.
She's across the street. And we have Euros, everyone. Would you like a Euro? They're delicious. I'll take a Euro. And they have like a little like image of like Murdaugh stamped into it with a poker. The movie got her the move rather got her one of those misconduct charges. The second misconduct charge doesn't even have anything to do with the Murdaugh bonus scandal here for Becky. And the perjury charge, Hill is accused of lying under oath during a hearing to decide whether Murdaugh deserved a new trial. She was asked directly by the former Chief Justice if she'd let anyone from the press peek at sealed exhibits. Her answer, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Did she say it like that? Can you do a better version?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I live in the South and I can't do it well. I'm just too northern. No, ma'am. I can't fucking do it. Anyway, if I like Southern, I got to think Southern. How do people talk?
I think your daughter sounds very Southern because I've listened to some of the Ghost podcasts.
Don't say that.
She's on
Don't
with
ever
Carol,
say that.
and
Don't ever say
she's
that
got a
again.
Southern drawl to her.
Does she?
Yes.
Wow.
Because it struck me like, oh my God, that's Harper. Because I don't know Harper.
Yeah.
And hearing her voice, she is Southern. She's got it.
You
don't.
I will know. But I mean, my girlfriend has a pretty strong Southern drawl to her. But she has like the charisma of Dolly Parton, where she's just like, no. And it's fucking hilarious.
Love it. You sound very Midwestern.
Well, yeah, because it's media. So we got the northerness beat out of us, and I didn't take that on. And I can't do a lot of good accents. So anyway, according to investigators, the whole no ma'am. I'm sorry, I can't do it well.
Oh, that's terrible.
People are trying
to work on that.
I know, and I'm in the South, and I gotta work. I don't know.
Oh my God. You would think you hear it all the time.
I can't even.
No?
No.
All right, that's your assignment. You need to work on that.
I don't want to work on that. That's something I'm good. According to investigators, that was a lie, and not just a white lie about eating the last cookie. Kind of like this was under oath. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, basically SLED is what they're called for short, the state's version of folks who come in when things get really messy. It's the state's version of the FBI, basically. They'd been looking into Hill since the beginning of the year. Part of their investigation was about whether she tried to sway the Murdaugh jury and whether she used her job for personal gain. Alex Murdaugh's lawyers, they're not shocked. In a statement, they said they've been waving red flags about Hill's behavior since the trial ended. They believe her arrest just adds more weight to their push for a new trial. Murdaugh's team already tried for one in late 23, saying Hill had made inappropriate comments to jurors, like nudging them towards a guilty verdict. I mean, and look, Alex Murdaugh's guilty as sin, but you can't do that. Now, Justice Jean Toll, who oversaw that new trial request, did agree that Hill got a little starstruck and said some foolish things, but ruled it didn't sway the jury enough to start the whole thing over, or she just didn't want to deal with it and kicked it down the court route. Think of it like, yeah, the referee might have made a bad call, but the game still counts. Murdaugh's team has since appealed that decision. And for Becky Hill, she stepped down as a clerk of court back in March, but said it had nothing to do with the investigation. Sure. Okay, Becky. Sure has nothing to do with the investigation. She was released on bail.
Wow.
So,
think about someone like her being and she's not in prison, but she was put in jail for a little bit.
Yeah.
She knows a lot of the people who are sitting in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean the employees. I mean the people behind the bars.
And if the state
put them there,
and the state's not interested in doing this again, they'd rather he's locked up and we're not having to do any of this.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that they're going as far as charging her like this, that means they know she really did some shit. It's not just Harpoodlin and Murdaugh's lawyers sitting there, raising the red flag. The state knows.
It's not like they're bored going, let's throw this thing at Becky. They're like, shit, we're going to have to do something about this.
They got a point. Yeah. I mean, they got a point that this was effed up. And she has charges in a complete other county that have nothing to do with Murdaugh. And like I said at the beginning of all this, and I think we all did, was Where else has she done things like this? Because I'm going to guess this isn't in a vacuum. It's not an isolated incident where Becky just one day decided to be Becky and be Becky's just Southern belle, and she's going to go say all this stuff, and it's going to be all good, and that's just how we do things down here in Colleton County. I'm doing a little bit better on that one.
A little bit.
My girlfriend actually made a good point last night. She said it's really kind of funny that the persona of like the Southern belle, like the Becky Hill types, of just like that, like she's got the personality. That's just Becky. How that so closely aligns with a narcissist. Because that's exactly what it is. It basically is. And I'm not saying all Southern belles that have those personalities are narcissists, but I got a Southern belle that's saying all those personalities are narcissists. But I don't know that they are. I don't think so. I think sometimes it's just a very big personality. But it was an interesting observation because we were talking about this case and all of that. And that was I thought it was an interesting take on it.
So, yeah, that is interesting, actually.
But she does strike me. I mean, because if you are one, and again, I know we say that word on this show far too much, and you play a drinking game, and you would have serious liver problems by now if you were playing along with that. It's true. So many roads lead to narcissism, and that is what gets so many people in trouble because they get so blinded by their own ego and what they think they can get away with and not having any empathy for others that when things finally collide, they're just completely blindsided because everyone else sees it. They don't. But then they get the other people around them that are also kind of narcissistic or full on narcissists as well, and they go, oh, I can relate to that. I'd like it if I had somebody by my side, if somebody caught me for the shit I'm doing. And then flying monkeys. Voila! Unfortunately, you got to look more like Karen Reed to get those. Because Becky ain't got none.
Boy. Yeah. Curious to see where this is going to go.
I think
Who does she hire for her attorney?
I have no idea. I don't know if she has one yet. Maybe Becky's going to represent Becky. She's going to find a backwoods Southern lawyer. Don't let Becky down. Da-da-da-da-da. No, don't let Becky down. She may try to influence Alex Murdaugh's verdict, but don't forgive her for what she do. But don't let me down. Becky's going to leave it uptown. Da-da-da-da-da. There you go. You don't know what that is? You know what that is? Come on. I know you didn't work in country, but come on.
Hang on.
Oh, Jesus.
I worked in country for 4 years.
It's fancy.
Oh, Reba. I'm sorry.
Here's your one chance, Becky, don't let me down.
It's fancy.
Yes, it's like the most damn popular song in country radio history.
I'm sorry. Wow, I didn't go there. I watch Reba. I don't necessarily listen to her.
I don't really either. I ate at Reba's restaurant.
How was it?
About a year and a half ago.
It was where? Where is that?
In like Podunk, Oklahoma.
Oh, because she's from McAllister.
Yeah.
See, I know my shit. I know
well, you
Reba.
knew that. I mean, it's literally, the town doesn't have anything in it, but she's invested so much like into the downtown, which is like 4 buildings. And she has this great restaurant down there that serves, for celebrity restaurants, it was one of my favorites. It was delicious.
Really? Because some of them are just horseshit.
It's just horseshit. But this is like in a very small town. You can get off the highway if you haven't been going through Arkansas. But it was like really good. They had like this amazing Bloody Mary that had like a whole bunch of stuff on it. It competed with Wisconsin, which is rare. And then I don't remember what I had, but it was Southern cooking, but it was delicious. It was really, it was very good. So
I'm looking at the menu right now. I'm in Wisconsin, but got a long weekend coming here. My God, I could get in the car and go get me some sourdough bread and bourbon butter.
It's still like a 3-hour drive from me, but yeah, I don't know, maybe less.
Oh my God, fried green tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, giant pretzel. It was flat iron steak.
It was good. Now And it wasn't too kitschy. I mean, certainly you could go up. There was like the Reba store upstairs, and you could get Reba stuff. I mean,
Fried catfish. Southern food is the best.
Yeah, I'm making crawfish
Not good
etouffee for dinner right now, actually. It's simmering on the stove upstairs.
What do you have going?
Crawfish etouffee.
Oh, bite me.
You know what? I learned it in Wisconsin.
How?
The girl I was dating back then.
That'll do it.
She had a neighbor that was from the South, and they learned how to make it, and she taught me how to make it. And my mind was blown, and it's still actually one of my favorite dishes to this day.
Well, you're a chef too, so I mean you can do shit like that.
I wasn't back then, but I learned.
No, don't even, because when I knew you, you were doing shit with food that I'm like, get me a Stouffer's frozen meal and I'm good. You were creating your own dishes, so don't downplay this.
It's because we had the meat guy Wayne who would show up with boxes of meat and weed.
See, I only got the meat. He would only give me steak. I was never offered the weed.
I wouldn't have done it back then. I didn't even do weed back then. And we had this guy who listened to our radio station and loved it, and he delivered steaks to a lot of the supper clubs and restaurants in northern Wisconsin. And I was brand new to the station. Somebody said, "Oh, you go meet him over at the 76 right off the highway." Like,
Wayne, the meat guy.
He's going to give you a bunch of boxes of meat for everybody.
And he wasn't. These boxes of meat, we're talking like 2-inch frickin' sirloins and T-bones.
It was all the stuff that like the restaurant said, we don't need this. And not because it was bad, but because they just over-ordered. Yeah. And then you get lobster, you'd get steak, and it was boxes of meat, and we're working in radio, so we're basically living poor.
And I was stealing toilet paper from the radio station. That's how broke I was.
That's how life was working in radio. So this was amazing. And then I remember getting back from the meat delivery or bringing it all back to the station, and we open up the boxes, and there's envelopes, little white envelopes in all these things. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, there's a ton of weed in this. So I just like transported all this weed across town in like 2001 or 2000, right around there, where it's like still highly illegal. I had no idea I was even doing that. I'm like, what is this? They're like, oh yeah, you got some too? I'm like, I don't even know what to do with it.
I never got any.
I didn't even. I should have given mine to you.
Well, I'm not. I wouldn't have even known what to do with it.
I hid it in my ceiling tiles in my apartment because I was so paranoid about it.
Is some of it still there?
It probably is. It'd be very interesting to go back into that building and see, is this?
I know where that building is.
25-year-old weed is still in the ceiling tile. From
Go knock on the door and go, hey, can I just look in your ceiling for a second?
I didn't know what to do with it. It just kind of sat there, and I think I moved and didn't take it with me. Today would be a different story now that it's legal, but back then I was like,
not legal here.
That's true. It's not legal there. I'm sorry about that. It needs to be. It really does need to be. Well, there you go. Way off topic, but there's the latest on Alex Murdaugh and Becky Hill. Yeah, he might get a new trial. And for all intents and purposes, he does deserve one. You know, he's guilty as shit. We have to do the legal system right.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.